My boy Michael Thomas Cephas, aka Span with the Wicked Hand. I'm gonna miss you, man. Back when I was in the 6th grade, I believe, I moved to Liberty Street. And 2 doors from me, Mark and Mike Cephas lived there. But I met Mike before that. So anyway, we started playing football. Me and Walt always had to stick each other. And then Mike and Jason was always against each other. So it was always me and Mike against Walt and Jason. And Weedy and Mark used to play with us too every once in a while. But we stopped asking them because they always used to fight. Like we say hike, Weedy and Mark just start fighting during the play. I guess it starts when you try to bump somebody off the line. But anyway, so they would play with us when they want to. So around our way, we used to play this thing called next point wins. So regardless of who's winning or by how much, it didn't matter. And we honored this system. If you score last when somebody say last point win, then you won the game, no matter how bad you was getting beat. And I'm not sure if we was winning or losing at the time. You listen to Walt, he'd probably say we was losing, but anyway, I don't know if we was winning or losing, but we had the ball and it was next score win. And we was playing Frisbee football in the middle of the block. And we usually play in front of the house, but we was in the middle of the block for some reason. So me and Mike huddled up. It was probably like 4th down. We was about to turn the ball over if we didn't score. So I had to go deep. Mike said, listen, man, you know how to frisbee. He said, I know how to throw this Frisbee where if I throw it out of bounds, everybody will stop chasing you. But you keep running. Don't stop. Just keep running. And the Frisbee's going to come back in bounds, and then you catch it for the touchdown, and we can win this game. And I was like, you sure you could throw? You going to, what if you hit a pole? He was like, I'm not going to hit a pole. I said, what if you hit somebody's porch? I'm not going to hit somebody's porch. I know how to throw it where it go out of bounds and come back in. I was like, all right, man, I trust you. So we said hike. I started running, and a Frisbee, you can catch up to a Frisbee, so you can throw it early. Mike threw the Frisbee early, and I kept running, and he threw it out of bounds, and it looked like it was going to hit a wall or something, or throw it in there where the Great Danes are down the street, and so I kept running. I was being obedient, you know what I mean? So I kept running, and it didn't look good for a minute. And then that Frisbee started coming back. By that time, Walt stopped, Jason stopped, because they was playing safety where both guys can come out on defense and you don't have to stand in there and count. But they both was covering me, and I went, and the ball and the Frisbee came back to me, and they stopped, and neither one of them tried to catch up because they just like, oh man, you could just see it. Their body language, man, after I caught the Frisbee, it was just like, darn it, y'all got that off. And it was Mike. Mike came up with that idea. And because of that, man, we won the game. But it was just like one of those things where, Mike always tried to find a way. Mike was our moral compass around the way. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna say I was up to no good all the time, but when I did have a bad thought and I ran it past Mike be like, nah. Or if I was in the process of doing something that wasn't right, he'd be like, no, man, don't do that. And then he'd say why or whatever. And we were like, man, stop acting like a punk. But I mean, he'd be right. We just was, we young and dumb. But Mike had the wisdom, and he was like, yo, man, don't do that. Or like if Mark do something, he'd be like, nah, man, don't do that. Mark be like, man, I'm gonna do it anyway. You know what I mean? Or Walt, same thing. Weedy, Jason. Mike always used to get on us about the things that are the choices we made. Man, don't do that because you're gonna get in trouble and this and that. And we be like, man, it's anything all right. But you know, that Mike was our moral compass when it came to that, man. Just being around. And as you can see by looking at these pictures, we was together a whole lot. You know, we took a lot of pictures together. We had some good times. We laughed. Like around our way, man, we didn't have a lot of drama, man. We laughed and played all the time. And we always made a game when there was no game. But yeah, man, Mike Cephas, man, that was my boy, man. Oh, man, we used to have so much fun, man. Mike definitely was the coolest out of all of us. Like, he was more hip than all of us, you know what I mean? Like when we did our little videos, our little like lip singing thing that we did, man, we had a ball doing it. Mike was the coolest, man. You know what I mean? He looked like a star. Like when he did his like little lip sync Jones, it was like, damn, he could be the artist. He could be the actual artist for that song. Me, I was the wackest. I was the corniest. You know what I mean? And I think Trevor did one. He was pretty good. Walt and Mark was both good, but I was bad and Zulu was bad. Me and Zulu was the worst. And then Trina and I think Sour did one. Yeah, it was fun, man. We had a good time, man. When Mark came back from the service, because Mark went to the Air Force right after high school, and when he came back, Mike left, because Mark was like, you know, I'm gonna just do my 4 and I'm out. And then when Mark was out, Mike was in, because I don't know what Mike was had going on at the time, but I think they were in at the same time for a little while, and then Mark was done, and then Mike went in. Mike was stationed in Maryland. I forgot the name of the Air Force base, but we were down there all the time. We went to go see Mike and had a good time every time. One year, it was the Million Man March. He was down there during that time, and he hit us up and was like, yo, man, all y'all welcome to come down. So I rode down with Mark. Me and Mark drove down, and we went to the Million Man March with Mike and Mike friends. We had a good time. So that was my monumental moment with Mike, being at the Million Man March. And yes, it was 1 million people there, or more. It was a whole lot of people there. But we had a good time. And then, you know, I went down there to go visit Mike with Walt, Devo, Mark, and man, I think that was the 4 that used to go down there all the time. Us 4, and we would go down there and hang out with Mike. You know, just doing stuff, drinking beer and hanging out, meeting his friends on the Air Force base, his Air Force buddies. You know, they was pretty cool. You know what I mean? I would like to see them guys, but you know how it is. But yeah, so yeah, man, you know what I mean, we gonna miss Mike. And to the Cephas family, y'all know y'all my family too. I'm gonna start spending more time with y'all when I get home. When I come home to visit, I'm gonna just be like, you know, because I know how y'all like to hang out over Steffi's house. So that's the party house. So I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna buy some chicken from KFC or Crown Fried or something like that, and be like, yo, we gonna come through and we gonna hang out and kick it, and, you know, talk about some old times, look at some pictures, reminisce, laugh, you know, cry, whatever. But yeah, I want to get up with y'all, hang out with y'all, because I miss y'all. Anyway, Mike Cephas, aka Span with the Wicked Hand, my brother, I miss you, dude.